We are discussing today how to improve your IG Reels in very simple, smart, and strategic ways that we all utilize ourselves. It's been pretty much one of the hottest content formats since it was introduced. From what it was before and how we used it, I don't know about you guys, I didn't put out any dancing reels back in the day. I'm glad I stand by that. I'm not putting out any just yet. It's changed a lot in regards to how we utilize it as an audience, as well as some of the features. So we're going to take a moment today to share some of those tips that we use to actually take advantage of those features and engage and increase the reach and views of our audience. I'm going to start off with you, Caroline, in regards to our question. What are some simple ways that we can improve our Instagram Reels?
Yes. Oh, I love this question. And my mind goes a million miles per hour because just as a social media strategist, just I could talk all day about this, but to choose, I feel like the most important thing, it would be the power of a hook. And the anatomy of a hook, I mean, we could talk about that alone all day, but I think what I kind of want to touch on is it can be visual as well as a verbal hook. I think we don't need to limit ourselves in. It needs to have the absolute perfect wording when sometimes that's like a little transition or it's just showing your face. That alone could be a hook. There's also the power of a subliminal hook where, it's something very subtle, like you're setting up your camera that, catches somebody's eye. So I think there's a lot of power in that. And the hook can also just be the actual material. So a great example is Duolingo. They obviously have pretty out there marketing. They're kind of known for that. It's a little crazy. It catches your eye because it's a little out there, but there's also simple ways that I think a lot of people can take that and emulate it with their own content. So for example, Duolingo showed up in a Zoom meeting and that was like documented in one of their TikToks. And that was hilarious. And people are like, okay, Duo does not belong there. And that really caught my eye. That was so interesting and unique and kind of different. So I think we can take that. And I mean, I've seen people with Zoom meetings since do something similar. So just whatever you can do that's kind of off the cusp, or it doesn't have to be as complicated as that, but it can be as just simple as the power of a hook. I think the very first 2 seconds of your video can sometimes kind of inform the watch time and the, viewer engagement overall.
Yeah, I love the fact that you added not just textual hook, but a visual hook. And you can use multiple hooks on one piece of content to really get the engagement of the viewer and really attract them.
Yeah, I think one that I keep pushing a lot of people, because I get a lot of people going, why didn't this work? This one didn't go off. I thought it should have more views. Stop gatekeeping. Like, don't make them go to the caption. Don't make them try to figure out what the thing is you're trying. Just tell it to us. We are kind of tired of the tactics and the gimmicks. So what that could look like is, for instance, if, I love the POV reels, they're a great way to help kind of get people started on like what you're looking at. But instead of saying POV, you discovered this new way to blah, 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 and now you feel X. What is the thing? Like, don't make them read more. Like, I literally did it. If later after this live, anyone wants to go look, but I did it on Sunday, I believe, where I just said, in case no one's told you, if you want all access to all the trending audios, and I said exactly what to do. I didn't say there's a hack for that in the caption. Like, just do it. That stops the scroll, because there's a lot of people who are literally, and we're all guilty of it, we're looking at our phones while in line at Target, or we're on a walk, we put our phone down. I always tell people, if they can't get the main gist of what they need on the screen, you're doing it wrong. Like stop making the wait. So one of the best ways to stop the scroll these days, I feel like, is just tell it. Tell us the trick. Tell us the tips. Say the quote you saw that was powerful. Just give it to us.
You're giving them like the teaser in the beginning,
right,
where you're literally telling them what it is, but then you're going deeper and you're filling out the more conversation in the captions.
Right. So if it needs more of an explanation, but like, again, I don't say, oh, this hook helped my person go viral. It's in the caption. Like, it's on the screen.
Okay.
I don't like to make them guess. It's just like, there it is, screenshot, get on with your day. Because most of my people are like me. They're not full-time content creators. They also have kids, or they still have a 9-to-5, right? I talk to people all the time. They're like, thank you for just telling me what to do. And I also love there's a lot of great reels out there right now of like, it says like 10 things. I shared about it with some clients the other day. It says something like 10 things to ask your kid instead of how was your day?
Yes.
Right? To get because if you ask a kid how their day was, they're like, fine. And it was like, and it said all 10 other things on the screen. So that's what I mean. Like, don't make them have to read the caption, go click. Like, I have never gatekeeped a thing, whether in my reel or in my business. And it's the best advice I can give people. It's like, as we're scrolling very passive. We don't know what we're going to see, what the algorithm's going to show us. So show them something worth their while and don't make them wait, and just give it to them. I think there was a lot of like waiting and this and that. And now it's like, just put the text up. I mean, depending on the piece of content you're sharing, but don't make me wait.
Right.
We'll appreciate it so much.
Yeah. It makes me think one of my favorite offers, he wrote like Story Brand, but he was
Danny
saying,
Miller.
yeah,
Yep.
he was saying basically there's no such thing as giving away too much free value.
Yeah.
And I love that quote.
For sure.
Very well
because
stated.
we can Google anything.
Yes. And that book is like a must read for everyone.
Yeah, but that's a really great one in regards to like just putting the content out there, because sometimes we are always trying to figure out, well, should we give this much or should we give it all?
Don't overwhelm. Just
Yeah.
a little. But again, instead of saying this recipe, just say what it is. Like, this recipe changed my life. Just say this recipe for blah 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 has this many ingredients. That, I mean, you don't have to give it all away, but just give us a little more than what you. Yeah. Like we were saying, it's never too much. It's like, just be straight up. Don't try to trick people. Basically,
I'm going to be completely honest. I am guilty of that on occasions in regards to some of the reels that I posted myself, where I would give up some of it and then say, the rest of it is in the captions. And it usually does tend to work. But I think that, kind of as we stated, with our audience nowadays, they're changing, and they are now, as you kind of said, they're on Instagram, shorter time spaces where it's like, okay, I'm online at Target, I'm just going to breeze through really quick. You can't depend on them to say, okay, I'm going to click on the caption too to go and continue reading. If you could just give it to them on the screen. So
because again, 6 months ago, that totally was great, right? I always tell people, I'm like, that worked, but you got to be willing to adapt and change. And like you said, we're following more people, we're on more apps. It's just those types of hooks that made you have to wait for it. You want to read the caption for everything. It's just, they're just kind of, I don't know, played out. I did them too, but it's like, that's one of the best ways to stop the scroll these days. Don't make people wait for just give them the goods.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'll say that with that tip too, and how it's really evolved is, people now, even if it's still working to do read caption, which yes, there's, like we stated, value and a time and place to do it in a certain way. But even if it helps with overall insights for a short period of time, you got to think about long-term game of building trust with your people, right? If you are giving them all the goods quick and easy, they're going to, every single time they see you while they're scrolling, be like, oh, well, definitely going to stop for this one. Like, I know that she or he is my go-to for this.
Such a good point. Yes, I love that.
So mine is going to be pattern interrupts. And I say that versus just transitions, because transitions, if you watch my reels, I love them. They're fun to create, but they are not for everybody. And you do not need to do transitions in order to have success. Rather, what a pattern interrupt is having shorter clips where you have little bits of just a different angle. Maybe you have a random object appear, or maybe you are at a further away shot and it slowly zooms in by doing keyframes on your edit. Maybe it's just a small cut in between and you're not even really changing the angle or where the camera is, but it's just the way that you're speaking is cut up a certain way. But having a pattern interrupt with either text, angles, transitions, etc., can really help people keep focused and continue to watch all the way through, because it helps us with that quick dopamine hit of something new, needing more, and instead of swiping to the next one, they feel like they're getting that nuance there in your reel.
We are an audience that we need a pattern interrupt because we get dull and bored very quickly. So we need something kind of, just change things up, whether it's the same point of view and it zooms in as you share some of those tips. And, just that simple thing will make the viewer stay just a few seconds longer. And then you give them another pattern interrupt, and then, that continues and continues going on. Absolutely. I love that tip. I'm going to share using B-roll. And I think using B-roll is a really great one that really, you don't have to put in so much effort in regards to creating B-roll. Is literally video that you take where, you can take video of you just doing something during your day. I actually I don't know if I could show it. I'm in my desk I'm in my office right now. And what I did was I literally put 4 push pins on my ceiling and a piece of paper. So I put my phone, I slide my phone in, and when I'm doing like I'm zoned in, I just put my phone in and records myself for like a good 5-10 minutes from a bird's eye point of view on my ceiling. That's B-roll. Or I could put it on my desk over here and record me while I'm working or on the phone. And I could take that content and then utilize it and put it up a message on top of it, give all of the gems away in the reel right on the screen. But I use the B-roll because it's a quick way for me to build a relation with my audience visually, doing something that they may relate to themselves. And from at the office in front of my computer, they can relate to that because they're probably at the computer as well, and they could do simple things to connect with me on that level visually without me even having to say a word. So I think B-rolls is really important, particularly if it's you in it. I know we could buy B-roll and the stock images and videos. Those work, but I feel like when it's you in the actual B-roll, it works better because they connect with you on that aspect.
For sure. And with the B-roll, it can, a lot of the times we get stuck in doing just niche type of B-roll. So only really sharing that like behind the scenes of what you do, but it could be literally anything. And sometimes those are my best performing reels because it makes people feel like they can connect with you and that you're not just here talking about your niche, you're here to connect.
You're a human.
Right.
Yeah.
My best performing reel with B-roll was of me. I literally put the phone down and mowed the yard. Best performing B-roll video that I've ever done. I was like, I could do this every Sunday. Get 2 jobs done.
Yeah, and I feel like seeing different hobbies and interests just makes that account feel so much more, multifaceted and relatable. And also, I think it ties into that kind of desire that we're so much more than our business. And even though that is such a core part of who we are, it's too easy sometimes to just hone in. So I love that suggestion. Just having that variety is so great. And I think even those points tied together so nicely because with the B-roll, discussion of the different angles above, below, the side with the pattern disruptors. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. What a great, easy way to switch the angle and have it at a different angle within your reel so easily just to combine those. So I love that.
So that leads me to ask the question here to everybody in the audience. I know that reels right now, I actually saw some people share that they in the comments that they're feeling like they're too scared to show up on camera or that they don't have confidence on camera right now, which is totally okay. We have all been there at some point. Just let us know in the comments with a thumbs up or thumbs down if you are currently showing up on reels or if you are not right now. Like your face. Oh, no, I want the thumbs up. Come on. Did it do it for the thumbs up? I don't think so.
We need to see some thumbs up in the comments. We want to see you guys put some thumbs up in the comments in regards to that question from Meagen. Are you guys showing up on reels?